I am so pleased to introduce Sara Park, who's going to read one of the most beautiful stories. I remember you had it with you last year, tears. It was very inspirational. So we're happy to have her here and presenting it. This is Sara.
So I'm Sara. My son Carter, I wrote this book about my son, and he was diagnosed with autism when he was 3.5. And when he was in preschool, so this is a couple of years ago now, his classmates were starting to question his odd behaviors and some of the quirks and stuff that he was doing. So I had actually gone, it was Autism Awareness Month, and so I thought it was a good opportunity to maybe talk about it with his classmates. And so I'd gone to the library looking for resources that his teacher could read to the class, but of the list that I had looked up ahead of time, half of them weren't available because they're just too old. And the other half were just not age appropriate. So most of his classmates were between 2.5 and 5. So I went home and just wrote a little, basically started as a poem myself, and brought that to his teacher, and she loved it, and she wanted me to maybe just add some illustrations to keep the kids kind of engaged. So I did the illustrations as well, and then when she saw the illustrations, she kind of persuaded me to maybe make it into a book available for other people. So between her and other parents and therapists and stuff who did that sort of the story really encouraged me to pursue it into a book. So it's a book now, and Sonia's asked for me to read it to you, so I will read it. So it's called Clever Carter.
Macs scare me. I'm still with the PC. And every time I try to work with a Mac, it just seems like a damn thing. So here we go. Oh,
There is a clever boy in class. His first name is Carter. Compared to children his same age, he may be even smarter.
I think I can speed this up. I would crash the whole system here.
There you go.
There we go.
Okay. By the time that he was 2, he knew the shapes and colors. He learned how to spell his name, and he knew lots of numbers. Carter can be distant and he seems a little shy, but once you get to know him, you'll see he's quite a guy. He looks just like the other boys, but inside he's not quite the same. The doctor said exceptional, autism is the name. Carter's rather quiet and it's hard for him to talk, but when the music starts to play, he sure knows how to rock. Sometimes he will look at you, then turn his eyes away. It's often very difficult for him to make them stay. When Carter gets excited, he likes to flick his fingers. It's sort of like the way you cheer for all your favorite singers. His ears are pretty sensitive. He doesn't like loud noises. He'll cover them to block the sounds of all the screaming voices. Carter's hair is curly and it couldn't be much blonder. When he's playing at the park, he may flee or wander. Some people point and stare at him because he acts a little stranger, and if he's left all by himself, he may get into danger. See, electronics is trying to get see. All the computers right heads up high. He likes to run real fast and jump in all the puddles, yet when the nighttime comes around, he just likes his cuddles. When Carter's playing all alone, it's tough to make pretend, but not as hard to make believe when playing with a friend. Sometimes out of nowhere, he'll make a silly noise. That's because the work is hard. He'd rather play with toys. Carter needs a few more friends to show him how to play, because in a little while, he'll have to learn the proper way. He has a little sister who he finds quite annoying. We're pretty sure that when she's big, he'll find her more enjoying. He gets a little angry when the words just won't come out. That's the real reason why you'll hear him scream and shout. But if you'll be his friend each day, you'll see he's really fun. And if you're not sure what to say, just hold his hand and run. There's going to be a questions portion in the book that will help relate the story to other kids on the spectrum, because obviously they all have different things, different behaviors. So it's basically for teachers and parents to read, and then at the end of the reading, when they're finished the story, they go back in and can discuss like maybe a certain child in the class, or there's questions they can ask to relate, even to try to relate the behaviors that Carter's doing to just neurotypical kids that are in the classroom. Shows ways that he shows he's excited in comparison to other kids and stuff.